We have the Phoenix Mars coming out for Fnatic and the Snapfire Void as the opening for Execration.
Yeah, it's a back and forth one, right? So you've got this synergy and counter synergy coming out from both sides. The Phoenix Egg, if it's at the wrong spot, can really work against Execration, but they do have the Snapfire to deal with that. So you've got that burst coming out with the rapid attack she can do with her skills. The Void Chrono plus Mortimer's Kisses is pretty nice as well, of course. Straightforward combo, but the arena egg is still pretty big. If the snap's outside the arena, you can't really touch it. So it's a pretty great combo for Fnatic to have. You just have to watch out with the timing. If the Chrono on top, what exactly Execration want to do afterwards. It's rather back and forth, pretty explosive. I have to say, the Snapfire pickup here for Execration, though, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, it is the natural Phoenix counter, but we have seen Execration run it off with Raging Potato, and the performance in that lane has been mixed. So I'd rather see it in support. We'll see if they do kind of flex it around, but they have favored it on the offlane, and I think that's been a problem for them throughout these group stages. Their offlane performance has been up and down here.
Yeah, it has been. I mean, we have seen a lot of that offlane Snapfire, and I feel like the win rate has been less than 50%. I mean, we probably don't have the stat up on us right now, but it has been pretty awkward with that offlane snap. Yeah. Sometimes you do see it perform very well, but it is rare that it does happen that way, and it just seems like a very, very easy offlane to deal with. Most teams just don't seem to care too much about it. Obviously, once it gets a few levels up, it can be a bit annoying, and the damage can get a bit insane, but up until that point, it's just kind of a weak offlane to have. Of course, we can't say that they're going to be in the offlane yet. It's still a bit early. We're going to have to wait this one out and see. We do have one more ban left here from Execration before these drafts do go on. I wonder how much the teams want the win today. I mean, they are both the lowest in the group stage right now. So you really want to try and get some points going, as we are about halfway through the group stage, and well, you got to get some points now. Otherwise, you might not make it through to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a dangerous spot. I believe Fnatic is actually lower as well. Execration slightly ahead with some drawn series. So there's even more pressure here on Fnatic. And their roster is shuffled around a couple of times. There's been some changes. Yesterday, we saw them actually take a draw. So there were signs of life there with this iteration of the roster. We'll see if they can sort out the issues they had in game number 2. It was down to playstyle. They forced a different playstyle. This one's shaping up to be closer to where they found success. So it's faster. It's got some key timings. I'm surprised Execration did not ban something like the Oracle out, instead opting for the Treant to take out the Overgrowth Arena plus Egg. But an Oracle here, I mean, an Oracle against Void, there's just so much value. You get the Chrono off, but you don't catch the Oracle, you're probably not going to find that kill inside. So that's something Execration has to be a bit careful about if they don't pick it up themselves.
I do agree with that. I mean, Fnatic should probably just go down the Oracle route if they feel comfortable playing it. Obviously going to make the Void's life a lot harder, unless Execration are going to take it themselves now. It can be quite effective up against the Mars, but no, they're going to go for the Clockwork. So they're going to leave the Oracle alone. If Fnatic do want to take it, they can take it right now. It doesn't seem like it's going to get banned anyway, so I suppose you could just leave it. But I don't really see any harm in taking it right now if you want.
Yeah, it's pretty open. I think it's still a really good support, even against something like the Clock. Although the Clock does give you reach into the back, they go with a Beastmaster, which is another tool to fight off that Void, right? Like the Primal Roar to stop you in the Chrono is pretty darn good. Of course, you get some push potential with the summons as well. Really curious as to how Fnatic wants to lane this. Whether or not it's the Moon Mars or the Moon Beast down mid is pretty open. So that's one thing for them to watch out for, which one is the Moon and 4-Ev hero. That might make it more complicated for Execration to figure out their mid matchup, because it's pretty open right now for Fnatic.
It is. There is a bit of flex going on here from this Fnatic side. But Execration, they don't necessarily have to go for the mid matchup now. They can just leave it to the last pick and maybe go for that, either the off lane or another support, because we still don't know what the Snapfire is doing. This pick here should reveal what they're up to with their off lane. I
Hmm.
do hope for their sake, though, it isn't going to be the snap off lane. Like, because it just seems so off.
Yeah.
And it is probably going to
Okay.
be the snap off lane. They do pick up the Earth Spirit. Still a potential for a mid Earth Spirit from Carl, but
Mm-hmm.
in all fairness, we haven't seen Carl playing mid Earth Spirit very
No.
often, so you'd assume it should just be a pos 4. I say pos 4, but then you're going to force the clock into the pos 5 role. It's
Mm-hmm.
very weird, isn't it? Right? You've got these three heroes that look like supports that can also be played in the core role. I guess it is very flexible for Execration. We'll have to wait till the draft's over.
Yeah, it's flexible, but it's also greedy. So the one worry I have here is no matter who goes support, who goes core, you're going to be shafting one of these heroes, right? They're not going to get the EXP timings they're looking for. They might not be getting the items they're looking for as well. That's the decision Execration has to make with who lanes where. It's it's something that can snowball hard though. Like they've got great early laning presence. Level 1 to 3 is pretty nice for all three of these heroes, except for the Void. He's just kind of there. But you can make something work early to snowball that way. So that's a lot of emphasis on the laning phase here for Execration and Fnatic. You gotta love that pause one pickup. It's the Morphling for them. So you've got some great heroes to turn into. I think the Earth Spirit's what a lot of these Morphling players will eye. So Raven probably going to want to turn into the Earth Spirit. You can get a lot more mobility, a lot more utility out for your team. And of course, if Chrono comes out, if you're fast enough, you can just morph strength, and it makes it so much more difficult for the Void to rip through you.
True. Obviously, morphing into the Void's quite helpful as well because you can just
Mm,
time walk, and just time walk is a pretty strong ability to have as a Morphling. So it's gonna be very nice for the side of Fnatic. Still, the last ban outs now to come, and both teams are banning out support. So it's quite interesting. Fnatic, they do
uh-huh.
ban out the AA, which is fair enough because you just don't want that counter pick up against the Morphling. They are still lacking a mid hero here for Execration, so you'd imagine Fnatic do ban out a mid now.
5 seconds remain.
Hmm.
They haven't
I
really
don't think
revealed
they're.
their own mid yet either.
I don't think they're too worried about what's up mid. I think if you're running a Mars or Beast mid, neither one really loses lane, so you've got a lot of flexibility there. What I will say though for Execration is this is very, very clearly something that could work wouldn't work now. Right? Like Morphling plus Oracle, you're pushing your limits on the hero. It brings so much more durability. And again, there's that it's still sort of a void counter as well for Execration. So if they don't ban that Oracle out, Fnatic could just last pick it. I think you've got the room here in this lineup. You
Is
might be lacking
Radiant's
a little bit of laning stuns, but I think that's something you can work with. And they do ban.
time to pick.
Yeah, no, they banned Avenge. The Oracle's going to be an option if they wanted it. Maybe they have something else in mind.
Perhaps. 2 seconds reserve time for Fnatic. They'll have to be quick.
Radiant's turn to
And
Oh,
alright, they go for the Doom. So one of these heroes is support. It might be like that weird support Mars that we saw the other day.
mm-hmm.
We did see a position 5 Mars out of, I believe it was Fnatic the last time it was run, if I remember
Mm.
correctly. Not 100% sure yet. Only time's going to tell. Execration, they have one pick left. I do believe they want some kind of fighting mid-core. Something that might be able to deal with the egg as well as the Snapfire. But no, they're actually going to go for the
Oh,
Chen last pick. And
uh,
that should be a core Chen, as far as I'm aware. But let's see who picks up what.
oh, this is gonna be a crazy first game. No,
Oh, it's
it's
a
it's
support
RR
smith.
Chen.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So it's the Raging Snap making its what third appearance, fourth appearance here in groups. Got to see how he performs today. Maybe he manages to make it work. Fnatic though, they're running the mid Doom, and
Ooh,
it is
mid
the
Earth Spirit.
Mars. So oh oh yeah, mid Earth Spirit. That's
Wait,
gonna be one to
why is
watch
his
out
name
for.
Ken now?
I don't know.
What?
I
Is this
I have
not
no clue.
Carl? It must be
That
Carl,
should
right?
be Carl. Yeah, and as far as I know, yeah, that should be Carl. I've never known him to go by Ken.
No.
Maybe because I know his name isn't even like close to like Ken. He's like Carl. That's
Right.
that's his actual name. No, it's okay. So it's actually Ken. I guess Carl can come in. They had to swap in Ken from their old roster. So we'll see if that changes how they perform. Really interesting back and forth here. it's a lot of counters into each other, but Execration with the Chen pickup, of course, are looking to play fast. What this means is perhaps Raging isn't in a rush to get a mech, as we've seen him play from the offlane. That's going to be RR's job. So his itemization on the Snapfire is going to change. We'll see how that works out. Laning phase, super important here for Execration. Got to maximize that early jump they get at level 1 to 3. Fnatic, we have to see how they get EXP flowing here for their supports. DJ on the Phoenix is probably going to be fine, but Zephyr on the Mars is the one to look out for. Like if his level 6 timing doesn't line up with DJ's, you're not going to get that Egg Arena combo.
No, you are not. Let's see how this game number 1 pans out. Both teams, again, quite desperate to get some points on the board for themselves throughout this group stage. So it should be a pretty competitive match. Of course, we'll bring up some loot bet odds, John. We'll see what they're thinking. And apparently... Alright, so Fnatic are going to be the favorites in this matchup. Even though Execration is just slightly ahead in terms of group standings, it seems to be that Fnatic is going to be the favorites. Mind you, Fnatic, they were looking decent yesterday, right? Excuse me, they had some changes in the roster, but it did look a bit better than what we've been seeing over the past few days.
Yeah, it has. And, you know, historically, Fnatic versus Execration, they've played a lot of series throughout. Only once in 2020, but that went 2-0 for Fnatic. Their overall win rate over Execration, I think, is something like 85% over 28 series. So there's a big barrier there for Execration. Fnatic, you know, they've still got to make this roster work. This might be something they're confident going into. And we'll see how it shakes up. I think they're still kind of working on gelling around. I do like that Moon is on a bit more of an active hero, right? The Doom is going to find steady farm. You hit level 6. It fits Moon's playstyle. He just wants to join his team early on, get a couple of pickoffs, and buy space for Raven. The Doom will allow him to do that.
Yeah, it's very hard to slow down the Doom as well, right? Like, he's just going to be able to farm no matter what because of the Devour skill. Even if he does have a bad lane, it is very, very easy to be able to catch up and be a powerhouse throughout this game. See Ken can do on the Earth Spirit, and I'm going to call him Ken, John, because that's what he's named himself. I hate when they change their names like this without telling anybody.
No, that's actually a player called Ken. Like,
it's Ken
on the roster. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yes,
so
it's Ken from the old roster. Yeah.
Oh, well, my apologies to Ken then. Good on you, Ken.
It's fine, you know. They don't tell us beforehand, so we get a bit confused sometimes.
Okay. So Carl's not here for some reason. We've got Ken on the Mid-Earth Spirit. Now, I was wondering why Carl was suddenly playing Mid-Earth Spirit. I was like, I'm pretty sure we haven't seen that before from him, but we'll see what Ken can do on this Mid-ES. Up against the Doom, it shouldn't be too easy, but if you can get some nice kickbacks into the Tier 1 tower, you might be laughing.
Yeah, you got to watch your spacing here for Moon. I think he's just going to focus on farming. It's a Doom lane. You know, you don't really look for much more than that. Although in a 1v1, there might be kill potential. So got to watch out for Moon's level 3 spike. Of course, Ken, if he gets a +1, can easily get the jumps in, and he's just going to be as annoying as possible. Looking at that top lane, you've got Raging on that Snap, actually, and with BDZ, of course, on the clock, up against Raven and Zephyr, and that Mars support already being harassed out by BDZ. You gotta watch out. You're not that tanky without the bulwark, and you tend to get that late. So there is a lot of damage that BDZ can let out. At the same time, you're buying space here for Raven. He's getting a good time here finding last hits. Raging, for his part, they're going to try to keep playing aggressive.
I do love BDC just running in like this with the battery assault onto Zephyr. They know the Mars, as a support, is not really that tanky up until you get some points in the bulwark. So Zephyr is going to have a bit of problems here and will be forced to Fairy Fire up. Looks like Raging will cookie away BDZ. We'll see if they can continue this kind of aggression. Also good to see BDZ does have the new hook that did come from Treasure 3. Which was funny, John, because I've seen a lot of people complaining about the hook, saying it's the worst one. I was like, in my opinion, it's the best one, apart from maybe the Phoenix. The other ones are pretty bad.
Yeah, I think I think comparing it to other clock hooks is maybe what they meant, but look at that. DJ on the Phoenix, they're applying harassment onto Palace, and he has that Immortal too, Mike.
He does. I do believe the Phoenix one is probably the best one out of all of them, that Treasure 3. Of course, I didn't get it, John, because, you know, didn't pay enough money, but maybe next time.
Maybe so. Still, you look at that lane, it's not an easy one for Palace, right? It's a Beastmaster lane. I mean, you've got even DJ harassing with the Fire Spirit, so you have to be on point with your use of Time Walk here. And Forev, he's got a pretty good start. 12-2, they're shoving in the lane. There's not much room here for RR to just go for the creeps and try to make a play. They can steal the boar away, but RR has been focusing more on just getting a heal troll increase, getting some heals up to counteract the harassment they're taking from Fnatic.
Yeah, I like seeing this, right? Like, before we used to laugh at this heal troll priest being picked up. Used to think it was just so silly, but it does make sense, right? If it's actually more effective than the Witch Doctor heal at level 2, it does seem pretty good.
Yeah.
Of course, just being able to passively heal someone up is nice.
Yeah, and the mana aura is actually insane, 2.5. That's like a free ring of Basilius there, so lots of value. You don't have many spells to spam, but that does allow Palos to just basically stand in front far more often.
I never even realized they had that mana aura. I thought it was just the heal. But there you go, 2.5 mana regen. That's really good. Wow. Well, maybe I should start playing some more Chen. It is.
Oh, poor CM. It takes a while to get it up there. Still, you know, building up in that lane. You can see mid Ken is still trying to force Moon back. When you trade right clicks like that, though, Doom with an early bracer, he's a bit tankier than you'd expect. So you're already seeing Moon kind of leverage this lane up. He's got his level 4. He's got the level 2 Scorched Earth. Not going to be an easy time for Ken now.
No, it's not. He has got some decent CS, but in terms of slowing down Moon, there is no chance in hell. But a nice roll in from Ken. He will be able to get the bottle Invis Rune up for himself, taking it away from DJ. Now that's going to be very, very important for him, as this lane is getting extremely difficult now up against Moon. But he'll be alright, and I mean, at this stage, once you hit level 6 on Ken, maybe even level 7, you'd start to expect perhaps a rotation out, because I just don't see him being able to contest this lane much longer. Especially if Moon does get level 6 himself and has the Doom up. It can get fairly dangerous for him. So you'd like to maybe start seeing some rotations where he can actually be useful, where in this lane, yeah, you're getting some farm, but it's not like you're really accomplishing much.
No, it's not quite what you want to see early. And speaking of those supports, you know, RR is just really leveraging these creeps for him, not in a good spot.
That's what you want. He stole the boar as well, John, so he's got a lot of slow out onto Forever, and that's going to be first blood. Palos able to take it, and RR basically just gifting it to it. That's the problem with the Beastmaster vs. Chen, is he's going to take your boars away, and they are extremely powerful.
Yeah, I mean, you saw DJ. He just went back trying to get a stack. They punished that movement. So DJ's got to be a bit cautious about that timing. You can't allow 4F to go off too badly like this. You've already got Palos up in terms of last hits. Really good time in that Faceless Void. The harassment, not quite what you'd expect, and I mean, they're trying now that you've got a reset in 4F, but it's not dissuading Palos. It's going to have a good timing in the Mask of Madness, and once he has that up, of course, his farm will escalate. That's going to give a good amount of space out to the supports to also play catch-up.
Oh, look at this. Ken top lane wants to make a roll in onto Raven. Cookie is going to be there to follow up, but it doesn't seem like they're going to have enough damage to take care of this Morphling. For Ken, interesting rotation to make. He might try to make the tier 1 tower push start happening with that siege creep, but it doesn't really feel like they're going to be able to get away with this. The siege creep should die fairly soon, but instead, BDZ does catch out Zephyr, and now Ken might be able to actually pick up a kill for himself in this top lane. Does have the Boulder Smash, does connect with it, and Raging Potato will finish the kill off with the Scatter Blast.
Yeah, it's a solid pickup. You're punishing that pause 5 more. So Zephyr's scaling has been set back, still level 3. Of course, that is what you expect when you run that support Mars. It's not going to be up and running as fast as you want. Leaves Raven alone, though. Risky spot for him.
So it's just going to strength morph, but they might have the damage output. Can kick him back. Won't bother. Goes for the Boulder Smash, and it does prove to be enough. Raven, even with that level 3 attribute shift, it just wasn't quick enough.
No, he was fully strength morphed up, I believe, so not much more HP to split. You got to be cautious with how far forward you put Raven alone. He does need some backup as a Morphling. You can see that the space being used is being used effectively, though. They're getting some EXP down mid. For Zephyr now, trying to play catch-up. DJ as well, it's going to need that. But Execration, for their part, they've finally gotten level 6 in Raging Potato. They are swapping out lanes, so they're giving Palos that mid lane, seeing the Mars at the lower level, trying to get that steady farm. Fnatic might start to set their eyes down bot. It's about that 7.5 minute mark where you do start to shove in these lanes. And of course, Moon is actually opting for the Midas. So
Yeah.
it's going to be steady farm in the Doom.
I mean, he's had a lot of farm. He's out farming everyone by like 20 last hits right now. He took some triple stacks in the jungle just about a minute ago. And with that Midas up, his farm is set to escalate very, very quick.
Oh. 4-0.
He's going to be fine. Magnetize is going to wear off. Top lane, however, DJ may not be very fine. He did already Icarus dive. He's going to try and delay the inevitable with the Fire Spirits and perhaps try to juke them out, but Palos is on his tail and BDZ is going to block him off the other way around. He doesn't have the Sun Ray to get off the map either, so he has no choice but to die there to Palos. And that means they can start setting up for this tier 1 top tower.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the Chen around. He's got the 2 Centaur creeps, plus the Mana Burn creep, so they've got a lot of damage flying in, and this is one of the things with the Chen draft. You can just push these towers so darn fast. You do see DJ come out by himself to defend. A solo Phoenix just can't get the job done. They're trying to posture down bot to go for a trade. Let's see if that will work out here.
That's going to be a tier 1 tower gone. DJ just forced to Icarus dive out. Bot lane, they are trying to get another push going, but Ken is going to rotate in and try and help out Raging Potato. Rev is going to get rolled on and looks like he is just left to die. And they won't even get close. That bot tier 1 tower going to be perfectly safe. And in fact, Fnatic, they are yet to pick up a kill here. It is 5-0 for Execration.
It's been a really slow start for Fnatic. And this is, again, down to Moon as well. Like, we expected him to get a Doom off at level 6. He's just taking his time farming. But there's a lot more pressure on the other heroes of Fnatic to buy that space. Even Raven farming a bit forward. You have to watch out as Execration, well, they've got the Chrono ready to go, although you don't have Palos around, but they are looking to take even more control on the map.
Raven's going to be a bit cautious, but no, they're going to try and make the play onto Zephyr. Moon's going to commit the Doom onto Ken, but a great block out from BDZ. That is really nice cogs placement, John. He blocks out both Raven and Moon, so they can't follow up with the Doom.
Yeah, that's the spell wasted. We were just talking about Moon having to use that for his Doom. Not a success. And, you know, while Execration drags 4 heroes bot from Fnatic, they get free farm up top from Palos. He's got all the space in the world, and still...
Yeah, they roar up Raging. He gets the Scatter Blast off. That's going to be a lot of damage into the Magnetize of Ken. A perfect Boulder Smash onto 2. And now Raven is going to be chased down. They'll refresh the Magnetize. They'll roll on him. And they are going to get the kill. And Fnatic, I'm not really sure what they're doing here, John. They're just looking desperate to get kills. But without your most farmed core to be there to fight with you, it's just generally not a good idea.
No, it's such a risky prospect, and they keep putting Raven in front here. So that trade not worthwhile. That was their first kill for Fnatic, but you can see Execration, they're feeling comfy. They don't have the lead. There's still a slight lead for Fnatic, although it is bouncing. That's mainly down to Moon. Of course, with that Midas build on the Doom, but it's starting to look a bit shaky. Look at Raven's farm, lagging behind even Ken on the Earth Spirit. Not a very good spot for a Morphling, and even Forev's farm has stalled out, 200 behind Raven. So that early progression you want isn't quite there. They are going to make a smoke play, going to try to make something happen.
Still very awkward for this smoke, John. I mean, they've got the arena up, but well, they'll throw both their supports and see if they can find somebody. Nobody's going to pop up at that bot lane. They're going to have a search. They already have an
Oh.
observer ward there, but
Moon.
mid lane, oh Moon, he's been caught out. That is not what you want to see here if you're a Fnatic fan. That is your highest net worth hero dying. Kill does go over to BDZ, and it looks like Execration. They want to go for that mid-tier 1 tower. They have the chrono up. And Fnatic, well, they're chasing a kill right now into Raging, but he's going to cookie out of the arena. Oh, it's just
man.
disaster after disaster for Fnatic's game number 1.
Yeah, they're not finding the openings they want. They need to start landing their combo with that Arena Egg. I mean, pickoffs are nice, but you need to start being confident in your team fight. It's just so difficult when you're fighting into a void. The spacing has to be on point. We're gonna look to find more.
Zephyr going to be in danger. He'll be slowed up by Ken. He's got help coming in though, so Zephyr might be able to get some trades going here. Ken going to roll away after popping the Magnetize, but now the Roar does come in. Still the Hand of God from Chen is going to keep him alive a lot longer. Ken, however, is looking to still die and does eventually go down. And now BDZ has been left behind and should also be dead. Meanwhile, Adun did come out onto Palos. He did not get that chrono out. So he's in big trouble now, as Moon is going to try and chase him down. Looks like he will survive the Doom and will be able to get out of there. But it is ultimately going to be a favorable trade for Fnatic.
That's the big win they needed. They catch Execration out, just being a bit too greedy in the rotations in. They get the punishment off. Very important kills for them to find. Helps them bounce back, especially on Raven, who is very close to Yasha. So you're going to have to wait out into the Manta. It looks like this game is going to be a little bit longer, but you can see that with their supports up and running, with the Egg Arena, they are feeling a bit more confident. Execration, you have to have Palos very quick with a chrono. You can't be too afraid to really throw it out, and they also lost RR a bit too early. So he did get the Hand of God. I don't know if he did get the mech off as well. You need to really be in the middle to keep that sustain up and, you know, keep your team running. So signs of life for Fnatic. Still 10-4. Execration do have a slight lead in terms of map control with that mid-tier 1 down. They just got cautious for spikes.
Well, they commit the first chrono. Palos, he does end up getting a nice solo kill off onto DJ up at that top lane. Of course, it's way better to just commit chrono whenever you have it like that, or even mid lane. Moon getting caught out on the Doom once again. It's farming very deep.
Should look to their bottom tower.
Yeah, that's risky. You can't afford to be the risk taker here. You need to let Forev take that risk. It's the Beastmaster. He's already got his Necronomicon 2, so he's just one part up anyway. If you give him that harsher farm, you can get the Doom up and running faster still. Roche now going to be taken by Execration and Fnatic. No wards. Not going to be able to spot this one.
No, they are not. Roshan going to drop at a nice pace for Execration. But all those bashes flying through from Palos. Very lucky there, and will take the Aegis for himself. And, well, with Palos' farm, John, he is getting rather close to that MKB now. Does have the Javelin up, and once that is available, it's going to be very problematic for Fnatic, because it's going to mean too much damage being pumped out. Oh, Zephyr,
no,
he's missed the arena. Yeah, he tried, but Ken did manage to get over the wall just in the nick of time. And he's going to be just fine.
That's gonna put a dent in their next team fight. They still have the Egg, they've got Doom, but with that one piece of toolkit down, might be a bit more difficult.
Oh, they missed the spear on Raging Potato to boot. So they're just going to go for that tier 1 tower push. Raging does not have Mortimer's Kisses to use to try and delay this, so he's just going to use his body. Start using Cookie and Scatter Blast. You don't have Chrono either, but it is up in about 40 seconds. It's going to be too late to try and defend the tier 1, so instead, they'll start pressuring the top tier 2. And it's still going to be a great trade for Execration. They're not going to mind this whatsoever. Just opens up more farming space for Palos. And as well as that, John, we talked about that MKB timing. He needs about 1k gold to have it up.
Yeah, that's going to be a major boon here for Execration. Just having that added damage allows them to be up in front. You know, you can really start to maximize that chrono without worrying about who you catch out. For Fnatic Sparta, they're about to find BKBs. They do have Necro Tree up on 4F, but really not able to capitalize on it just yet.
BDZ's looking for a hook shot. He's looking at Zephyr, but does not connect with the hook, and Zephyr, well, he's going to get the spear off onto Palos, but he knows he's probably going to die, and does. Didn't try to go for the run once he saw the hook shot miss, but went for the spear instead.
It's a neat little pickup for Execration. Not the biggest. That's still a +5 Mars, of course, but now you've got a 2K lead in Execration, and that's still considering that Moon's #1 in net worth. So your other cores are definitely taking a massive hit in comparison. This has to be a worthwhile investment in Moon. He's almost at the BKB mark, so it's going to be easier for him to land the Doom, but without the Blink, it is a bit harder to gap close there.
Raging, being very, very aggressive towards those Beastmaster creeps, making sure they can't just run away. They'll get the tier 1 bot tower, and they'll happily back out now. MKB on the way for Palos, just in the courier. And he's got Chrono up with the Aegis, so you might expect a team fight being forced out soon by Execration. Forev is going to scout out Palos with the boar, and they are starting to posture, but it's very doubtful that they'll be able to take him out right now. In fact, Palos should be the one being aggressive. Execration, do they have a smoke? They do. On RR, they should be popping it very, very soon.
Yeah, they've got that option in hand. Have to watch out for some of these wards, though. Fnatic does have some really neat wards, watching some usual smoke spots, so it can be tricky, but you can see Fnatic themselves, they were also smoked up.
They are. Moon is going to walk into Palos, and this is the way to start it. They do get the Doom off. Palos needs some help, but it looks like it's not going to be there in time, but that's just the Aegis. Now they're all in the back lines. Was there onto Ken, but he's going to be safe as the arena, going to be blocked. There is a Void copying a lot of damage for Palos. He's going to be okay to get out of there. And now the team fight really starts. Zephyr, he'll go down. So does RR. But that's a great chrono out from Palos. He's going to be able to get at least Forev before he has to make a run for it. And now they can roll back in after the egg. Ken wants to get another team fight started. They couldn't quite hold down DJ. But that'll be it. They'll get a 2-for-1. They'll leave. I think you are still very happy if you're Execration.
Yeah, you still found some big kills. You don't find the biggest ones. You don't get to pick up Moon or Raven, but it's a good use enough of that Aegis. You did have about only 30 seconds left, and you know, you start to push ahead. You know Doom is down. You might be able to make a move if you wanted to, and Moon?
Oh, Moon, no. 20-minute banner is just about to spawn up. He doesn't want to die like this, but he does get the TP off.
Ooh.
Ken just a millimeter off getting the stun, and oh, Moon's going to be very, very happy. Raging now going to get chased down, but he does have help coming in. Raven going to morph into the snap and try to get some more damage out, but they don't have enough yet. But the Icarus dive, no, still not going to be enough from DJ. In fact, BDZ, he does miss the hook, but it won't matter. He'll get kicked into the Phoenix by Ken, and they will be able to secure the kill.
It took a bit of effort. I want to point out as well, while Moon was TPing out, they did have the hook on BDZ, so a missed opportunity. Still, immediate smoke. They want to keep running here.
Yep. Onto Zephyr. BDZ with the battery assault. Spear is not going to connect from Zephyr. With that not connecting, he's not going to be able to get away. Was relying on the pushback. And suddenly BDZ has an Orchid up.
Yeah, that's just a lot more control. If you are Fnatic, you only
Either the Earth Spirit or the Void, which is absolutely fair enough, as you do want to just shut one of those two down so they can't take a team fight.
Yeah, it's down to Execration to perhaps start building a Linken's or a Lotus to make it more complicated for Moon to get that Doom off. No one really queuing that up just yet. You are seeing the Ags build up here for Raging, so you're gonna have the Blink Gobble up in play, or just straight up spitting someone as initiation. We've seen that actually pay off. So that's gonna be a massive spike here for Raging once he does get that farm going. And you know, if this game goes slow enough, steady enough, then he is gonna find that farm eventually.
He will. But Execration, they're not going to wait. They're going to smoke up, and they are ready to go once again. They seem to know exactly where Fnatic are. They are running the right way. Fnatic now under vision. Be cautious here. Palos, he's waiting for the right chrono, but BTS will get started with the hook shot and the cogs, and that'll be Zephyr dying so quick. And now Palos, of course, going to go for the chrono onto your mid-doom, and that'll be Moon going down. Execration now hunting for more. DJ trying for the TP, is going to make it out in time. And the only man left is going to be Forev, but he is also looking to be safe. But you've got two nice targets. You've got the Mars and you've got that mid-doom.
Yeah, it's really the only heroes you want to pick off anyway, besides Raven. So you found a big boys, you get the punishment off. A bit of an interesting spot for BTS up top.
Gets the Orchid off on DJ, so he can't get out of there, and now the Magnetize is going to be out. DJ still silenced, cannot Icarus dive, and now Raven needs to be real careful because they have a lot of stuns. Zephyr, he's trying to come in with a 4-man arena, and that's going to hold them back. Nice play out from Zephyr. Ken is going to try and punish Zephyr by connecting with the Boulder Smash, and now going in with the silence and rolling Boulder. Even a cookie from Raging Potato landing. It's a very, very nice play out from Execration, as they will pick up both the supports of Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, BDZ was just hiding in the right spot. Knowing that they tried to get that outpost back, get the punishment off. You would have loved to get Raven, just a bit too tanky right now. You do need more damage flying in. I suppose you'd really want Palos around for that, but you know, it's perfectly fine to get control back in that top jungle. So the space for Fnatic to farm is shrinking. You know, they don't really have that top jungle in control. At least they still have their tier 2 mid to exert influence in that triangle area. Where you see Raven playing catch-up, going for the shotgun next on that Morphling. Once you've got that, you've got a way to disarm the Void. You've got a way to get that burst damage off. It can be very important for Raven to play it safe until that's up. Once it's up, it's a major power spike for the Morphling.
Fnatic, smoke up. Trying to want to make a fight happen. They've got that Doom up. Arena is not going to be available for 5 seconds, but they'll have it up once the team fight starts. Can. Could be a nice target for Fnatic to jump, but they've got to find a way in. Moon doesn't have the blink up yet. He was 200 gold off. They're going to get RR instead. Ken will just roll out of there, and RR will have to tank the gank. But for Fnatic, for a 5-man smoke rotation, you don't just want a Chen. You definitely want a bit more than that. They might try for a Roshan play. They will. BDZ misses the hook shot on Moon, but Ken's still going to roll in. They want to start off with that Doom first. With the Mortimer's Kisses flying in, Doom is going to die. He had no BKB up. Raging at least does die to Forev, but now the chrono is going to be there from Palos. He will get Forev, and now it's onto Raven. They get the arena down with a nice spear round, but they don't have the damage. Palos is going to be able to time walk out. Meanwhile, DJ was left behind on the Phoenix. He's also gone. BDZ getting kicked forward by Ken. Trying to get vision onto Zephyr. They didn't quite get it, so they'll leave it be. But that's going to be a free Roshan going to Execration.
It's a big one here for Execration. Again, forcing out kills, getting the biggest target. Moon is still the highest net worth on the side of Fnatic. They are still having issues with Raven. They've got to get that Spirit Vessel on. on point. It felt like it was a bit scattered for them, but you've got the Aegis and Cheese here now going the way of Palos. He's got so much more durability coming out. Fnatic, they really need to just wait for the shotgun. Raven is, I think, actually ferrying it out, so they're going to have that burst potential. Now, that second spike for the Morphling now in play. We'll have to see if they find openings to punish Execration here.
Execration's just focused on farming. I mean, they're not really bothered at all by what Fnatic's doing. They're taking the team fights when they want. It's always been in their favor. We haven't really seen that from the side of Fnatic. They've been... I don't know what word to use here, but it's been rather awkward.
Yeah, it really has been. Now you've got the Ags and Raging. That's going to make it even more awkward. As so much confidence, they just run down and start forcing the tier 2.
Oh, there's a Doom out. They have caught out Ken, I believe, but hookshot is going to be in from BDZ. Straight onto Zephyr with the silence out, but BDZ is going to die. So they've lost one now, Execration. They are waiting out the Doom on Ken. Eventually is going to wear off. And I believe that was actually Raging Potato gobbling up Ken and spitting him out somewhere across the map.
Yep. Really balanced play with that Blink Ags on the snap. So it is paying off today for Raging. He is definitely on point, making it work. And that is the Doom down, although. Ken?
Bit of a misclick, Ken. That was his 9-second charge going down the toilet. That's fine. We've all made that mistake.
Yeah, that we have. It's much more common than you think. Still, they're gonna have Chrono up on Palos. It is up now. So it's a bit of a risky time for Fnatic. No Egg, no Doom. Leaves him a bit vulnerable if Palos does want to go in.
I mean, Palos might just wait till he has the Satanic up at this rate. Sure, you've got the Chrono, but he might just want to play it extremely safe and just get that Satanic first. He's going to re-invade now the Dire Triangle. 11k net worth lead for Execration.
Oh, BDZ.
He's going to be able to catch out Zephyr. And this support Mars, it has just been such a rough time for Zephyr. Look at his itemization. Brown boots, bracer, wand, and a cloak. That's as good as it gets, apparently, for the support Mars.
Yeah, he's fallen a bit too far behind. Not where you want to be. That's a big courier to pick up as well, just sitting there. Shop, Raven's courier gone. It's going to be harder for him to get his items up. I mean, he's at the opposite secret shop, so he could probably just buy out there, and he does. Still going to stall him out. It might cause some awkward timings since it's a 3-minute respawn. And right now for Fnatic, you know, I look at this build on Moon, Mike. The Midas play has kept him on top in that fort, and he does manage to actually finish his blink, and wow, an entire disconnect there.
Yeah, Execration. They've had a problem. Hopefully they'll be back soon. I do realize Moon has been really maintaining his net worth quite well, but in terms of how effective this Doom has been, it's been quite questionable, right? Like, it's one thing to get a lot of net worth, but you've got to be able to use it effectively. And I wouldn't necessarily blame it on Moon himself. It just seems like they're not really fighting together. It's always been very split, right? Like, it's never, in the earlier stages of the game, it was never 4 heroes rotating to try and capitalize off that Doom. It was always 1 or 2 at a time. They'd commit the Doom. It looked good. And then somehow Ken would find a way out. Or Palos would find a way out. Every single time. And it's just... It just hasn't panned out. I dare say this net worth means nothing now.
Yeah, it's not quite what you want it to be. I think for Fnatic, we talk about this when the combo's there, Mike. You know, Arena Egg has to be the star of the show here. You draft these two as supports for a reason. You need to get that combo off, and we've seen Zephyr try, but without the blink on that Mars, I mean, we've seen people just walk out of that arena, and that's not what you want. You need to nail that combo. I don't know how you give Zephyr the farm now, though. We're 30 minutes in, and he's still building up into that Glimmer Cape. They need to find ways to get that distribution a bit better, though. I mean, Zephyr is just dead last on the Mars. It's a support, but you don't want to be dead last in that here. It does need some farm to really get going. So they've got to find a way to land that combination with their spells. They also need to be more cautious with Forev. If the fight breaks out and the chrono lands, but it's not on Forev, Forev can get the roar off in a timely manner, stall out the fight, and get some saving plays. Maybe Raven starts to build up, gets more damage in. But that's how it needs to be. It's either offensive with the Arena Egg, which is difficult when you don't have an easy way for the Arena to go off, or much more disciplined defensive play. You de-split up, force the Chronos in awkward spots, have Forev get that roar off, and then fight after the Chronos gone. It's an easy way to bait Execration in. After that, you can get the Arena Egg. It takes a lot of patience to kind of play that slower game. And we've seen Fnatic, they've been trying to play it faster. There's some pressure there. They've got to cool down a bit and take it slow. They're not quite out of it. It's very difficult. But if they find the right opportunities, if they find the right moments to go in, then they can still make this draft work.
Who wrote Big Yes on the map? Someone did. I think it was BDZ. Not sure what he was saying yes to, but he has been a bit chatty today, John. Of course, in the lobby, he was talking about Among Us again.
Like the game,
craze.
yeah.
Which you and I haven't played yet, surprisingly enough.
Yeah. It's like I don't want to say that we're too old, but it feels like that.
We're getting old.
Like,
We're
we're getting up there.
Yeah.
I wonder if chat can guess how old we are. It would be fascinating to see that guess. Yeah, still, that Satanic you mentioned for Palace Mike up and running. So he's got the status resist, he's got the lifesteal, he's got more damage. It gets really difficult to fight into this now if you're Fnatic. Aegis is still running, although that's only got a minute left. So Palace has to be aware of that. Don't overextend too far going down the line, because oh no.
Mid lane, Palos. So I know the towers hit hard these days, Palos, but no need to chrono there, sir.
BDZ. BDZ?
Gonna go in with the Orchid again onto Zephyr. And Zephyr is forced to commit the arena. They are gonna cookie BDZ away. Raven unable to finish off the kill, and Zephyr still in trouble. They'll commit the Mortimer's Kisses, and even Palos. He's going to come in now, trying to chase down Raven. They'll switch around to Forev instead. Gobble up? No, not going to be on target. But Palos doesn't mind. He's having a good laugh. He still has the Aegis, and he is going after that tier 3 mid tower.
Yep. Even without the chrono, they're feeling strong. Aegis is going to expire, though. Gotta watch out.
As you do, Palos again just doesn't seem to care, but he probably should have, as he is going to die. And, well, everyone else is going to get out just fine.
Oh, boy, Palos. Gotta watch out Aegis timing, man. Like, right as he got doomed, Aegis expired. They've got to watch your Roche timers. Beyond that, Fnatic, big kill. They're going to be happy. That did force a buyback out from Zephyr. So you did lose one buyback there, but you slow down the push. And Execration, a bit of an awkward spot. You need to wait a little bit longer. You're going to have Chrono right around the time Palos is up, so you could look to make a play then.
Bot lane. Forev, gotta be careful. BDZ not gonna land with the hook shot, and that might just let Forev get out unless the gobble up is gonna land as well. Oh, that is perfect from Raging.
Oh. Ooh. That's the redemption play, Mike. After days of struggling on that offlane staff, you can see it when it lines up. The gobble up plays are a pleasure to watch.
It really is. It's such a large distance as well. Like it, I realize Mortimer's Kisses already have a huge, a huge gap between itself and the hero. You can really push it quite far, but it does make you feel like this Aghanim Scepter might be a little too strong in some drafts.
Yeah, it combines really well. It's even better than Toss when you think about it. You just need to invest in the Ags, but you know that's the hardest part for it. And Execration, 12k ahead still. I mean, you still did lose some big heroes a while ago, especially on Palos, but you're feeling good. Still, Fnatic, you look at Raven, he's got the Scotty up, he's got the shotgun up. They were struggling to kill off this Morph. It still has been a consistent struggle, like he's only died twice. So Fnatic's really banking on Raven to start to turn these fights around. You've still got Moon above, you know, he's standing toe-to-toe with Palos and Farm. He does have the Shiva's guard up. He is saving for the refresh. So Double Doom going to be consistently out soon. And that is going to allow Fnatic even more opportunities to find some good targets, and they do smoke up.
They're going to try double damage around Palos. He doesn't pick it up, and that's going to allow Raven to go. No, Palos, he does jump back in, but now Forever going to be able to get the Roar off, but they did not get the Void. He's going to be all right. Palos going to be able to get out of there. BDZ still trying to escape, but looks like he is going to be in a spot of danger and does also go down. And was that Raging Potato again with the Gobble
Yep.
Up?
Oh, yeah.
It is hard to see in the middle of a team fight, but this man is so sneaky.
Yeah, it's been on point. Like, you saved your big core. Now you've got an opportunity to play with a Chrono. Still have to
Palos,
Chrono.
he jumps in for a two-man Chrono, but the Ghost Form is going to be out onto Moon, so they'll force down Zephyr instead. He's still alive, but there goes your Magnetize now from Ken. That'll finish off Zephyr, but he will commit the Doom back onto Ken. Here comes Palos. He's still going to go for this fight, but Moon is still pushing forward and does kill off the Earth Spirit. Now Raven, back onto RR. That'll be your Chen gone. And suddenly Fnatic, they are knocking on the tier 3 tower.
Ooh, no, this is a scary situation. You have to really be careful with who you Chrono. You need to ensure that you kill them off. Very durable now on Fnatic's side. Even the regen coming out has been slowed down with the Scotty, with the Shivas, although raging.
He's going to commit the Gobble Up, commit the Mortimer's Kisses. Moon is falling very, very low, but will not die. Oh, they left him on BDZ. He did not get the hook shot in time. Raven's going to jump back in onto Raging Potato. He wants to take out the Snapfire, knowing there is no buyback on Raging right now. He's going to turn around, but it's a double kill out for Raven. Now Forever going to jump back in onto BDZ, but they aren't going to push it too far. They are going to go back for the racks. And Fnatic have really closed this net worth gap now. It is only sitting at 3k for Execration. And after this racks, it should go back the way of Fnatic.
It's a scary time for Execration. One rack's down. You can see the result of these bad team fights breaking off. You need more damage on your Void. It's just not there. He's got, you know, the MKB, the Satanic, sure, S and Y, but it's not enough. Like, the Doom is just too durable. And that's where the net worth kicks in. Like, we were talking about how the investment in Moon looked to be, you know, not too worthwhile, but now at the late game, with the Shivas up, with everything up on Raven as well, like, you just are hard pressed to kill off these two heroes. So they need to really work together here, Execration. Their draft is geared for like an earlier to mid game kind of lineup, and it is feeling like they're losing that spike. So have to be a lot more clever with their usage of that Chrono.
They do, but in the mid lane, looks like they are going to at least catch out Zephyr. He's going to die there to Ken. Nice little pickup on the support of Fnatic, and with that, you got the Chrono up in 15 seconds. You might be able to get something done here. There is a Roshan to play around. Execration, can they force it before Zephyr does respawn? Doesn't look like it. They're not going to even bother.
Nah, it's way too risky, considering that, again, Fnatic has gotten the drop on Execration the past few fights. They do need this objective, though. They really do need that Aegis Cheese plus the refresh shard. Fnatic, you've got that refresh up on Moon. So he's got Double Doom flying in. It's getting scary to fight into Fnatic. Just so much control. They're at their peak of power now. The network lead is gone. 30 to 16, but Fnatic, they're actually on top.
They are. Well, there's a slight net worth lead for Execration. It's just 1k, but they are looking very, very good, Fnatic. Dota Plus actually still sitting on Execration's end of things, but they had just about a 95% win probability just a couple minutes ago. That last team fight down to that bot lane really did ruin that win probability, but well, now Fnatic, they're going to smoke up and they're going to try and make it go their way. We'll use Raven as bait in that mid lane, see if the side of Execration are willing to take it. Looks like it probably will not amount to anything as they are sticking around that Radiant jungle. The Roshan is still there, so Palos, he's going to time walk in. Try to force it. Now there is a ward here from the side of Fnatic, but they haven't seen anything yet. In fact, they're going to TP back home. Ken is going to get picked off. Forev and Moon committing both their ultis. Now Moon will refresh the Doom, but Palos should have seen that and does time walk out in time. But Fnatic, with that refresh Doom, might just want to either force the Roshan or the mid tier 2 tower.
Yeah, it's a strange decision for Execration. They could have taken the Roche for free for that exchange, but now Fnatic set their eyes there. Gonna have to fight smart in this bit. You do have Chrono. Pilots might be able to make a big play here.
Just gotta be careful for Moon though, right? Like you can't get caught out by that Doom. Autumn's Kisses are gonna fly in, and that's gonna make life a little bit harder for Fnatic. So they aren't going to be able to quite finish it off.
Time is money.
Zephyr for a way to initiate on this Mars, but they'll get started on the Roche again. It's getting very low, but they are going to commit an egg now. But there's your gobble up onto Palos. Who'll time walk out, however. Aegis will be there onto Raven. And it looks like they are also going to catch out another in the form of Raging Potato. They didn't quite get the timing right. Now Forev, even getting the roar off on Palos, but he'll be able to time walk out. Still, they're going to try and waveform in, and now the Doom does connect out of Moon, and they should be able to focus down Palos very easily, and they do. He'll be able to buy back, and he will commit now, TPing back in. He has the Chrono, but that TP is taking a very long time. He finally gets in there. More barbacks to fly up, this time from BDZ. There goes Palos onto Forev, and they'll get the Beastmaster. But it seems as though that is all they're going to get for their trouble.
Oh man, it's big buybacks to force out. Like those were 3 off the bat for Execration. They only find 1 in exchange, and Fnatic now going to be taking the lead. They got an 8 to 10k lead off the back of that. They're going to have the refresh Doom ready soon, and they still have a refresh shard waiting around as well. A lot of options here for Fnatic. They most definitely are in that driver's seat. Execration now, they really have to play smart with the Chrono. Like that was just some superb thinking from Fnatic. You know, the egg from DJ before the gobble up came out just prevented the Chrono from flying. It's just so awkward to have the Chrono and hit an egg. And at this level, DJ's egg is really durable. So it's just getting difficult for Execration. They still have some really good high ground defense. We just have to see Palos land that Chrono. He's got a Minotaur Horn to help him out, and he's going to be building into the Skadi next. So once you've got that, you can at least make it harder for Raven to regen true. But there's a lot of pressure now in Palos. This is just what happens when you play a Void draft. It just becomes all about the Chrono, and there's just so much he has to get done here for his team.
He's working towards that Eye of Skadi now. Because both these position 1s, Raven's just taken over in terms of net worth. I mean, he's just so far ahead. And Palos is going to have to spend a bit more time at least finishing up that Eye of Skadi before he does get any more aggressive. Not to say he doesn't have the damage already within the Chrono, though. He has plenty of damage. But that Eye of Skadi is certainly going to help, in particular, with dealing with Raven. They really do need to watch out for that Doom from Moon, because that is becoming extremely annoying. And well, Moon's got 3 Dooms now, so you've really got to be careful. He's also working towards that Aghanim Scepter, so he'll have that Infernal Blade on a much lower cooldown. It's going to be quite a painful experience here. Execration aren't careful.
Yeah,
Got some very strong in game.
They definitely do. It's just Execration now forced into the high ground. They're stuck in a very awkward spot where they can't really go out, and Fnatic are just slowly carving through the map. Last outer tower for Execration gonna be sieged up, and of course they can't defend. They have to look at the high ground. They have to get their positioning right. There's still a lot that Pilots needs to get done. But if Fnatic do play a bit careless, they've got ways to punish.
Yeah, he's going to cop the shotgun there from Raven, but he'll be okay. Those tier 3 towers, Raven doing a lot of damage, but we'll get the glyph out. It's like they're not going to care for the glyph anyway. It's just that far into the game now where the damage just doesn't affect you. Hook shot, oh, BDZ. He hook shot onto the neutral creep that that RR had. Forev now going to jump in with a great roar out, and Ken going to be in a spot of danger, but there's your gobble up from Raging Potato. He'll spin it back out into the fountain. Raging falling low, will survive, and now Palos does go for the chrono, but it is only on Zephyr, so Moon will be able to get one Doom out. Now look for another. There goes Palos without buyback. Ken, he's going to roll back in, but there's the other Doom now from Moon. Make it a third one he has. Who does he want to use it on? Well, there's going to be nobody, but Ken, he's going to have to fight again. And Moon is waiting for the right opportunity. So Ken, he's going to roll in with a kickback on Moon, but there's your third Doom now. And Raven, he's going to try and dive the fountain onto Ken. There's your buyback from Moon, and this game is looking to be very, very over, as Fnatic have made an absolutely massive comeback. And Execration, just one bad team fight. They're going to try again with the gobble up. Ken is in the middle of all this, getting a lot of damage out onto DJ. It does kill him off. Zephyr also falling very, very low, but Ken is going to go down, and that'll be it. They call the GG. Just one bad team fight from Execration. They had 95% plus worth of a win rate prior to the 35-minute mark, but it's all it takes. Just one team fight.
That's it. And, you know, Fnatic, they held on well. Props to them. Their investment in Moon paid off. Their patience with Raven paid off. Look at Zephyr. 0-12-12 on the Mars. I don't believe he even ended up having a blink, but he still had impact there at the end. Like, that is the most naked Mars I've seen, but they still won with it. Execration, reel back that excitement. Reel back some of that dives that they do, right? They have to be a bit more calm. They need to be on point when you do draft the Faceless Void. You put so much weight on that Void to get the work done. Palos tried his best, but they took too long. And Fnatic, I mean, it was wonky, but a win's a win. And we'll see how both teams do in game 2.
We'll find out very soon. It's MLP Dota and John X Fire, and we'll be back with you in 10 minutes for game number 2.
Ooh, that's live.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here for game number 2 between Execration and Fnatic. It's MLP Dota and John X Fire. John, welcome back, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Mike. You know, it's past lunch, but we don't have long enough for lunch, but we do have long enough to have a sip of Monster. I grabbed a cold can. I did have a flavored one. I think it was like the mango one, but it wasn't mango loco. It was named something else. It was still blue though. Tasted delightful, so I'm glad. I'm all pumped up, and you know, it's been an up and down series so far. It's going to be exciting to see what these teams bring out, Mike.
I do agree. It should be quite exciting. Of course, last game it looked like Execration had it in the bag, but you have a couple bad team fights, or in their case, one, and it was just all over from that point on. It must be very demoralizing for Execration to have to lose that game like that. Of course, now they do have the opportunity to try and get a tie going for themselves between Fnatic. They'd rather not have to lose 0-2 if they can avoid it. As again, they are 9th place right now, and if they do give a win over to Fnatic, then that means they're going to get bumped up above Execration. And I believe that'll actually put Fnatic in the spot of the groups where they can be in the lower bracket. So they definitely would be moving up quite a lot if they did win out this series.
Yeah, they would. It's super important for them, and you can see in the draft they're not messing around. They start with Bloodseeker. We've seen them run it a couple of times. We've seen Forev play the hero, of course, plays it fantastically, and they pick up a Mirana now as well. So they've got this way of playing aggressive, playing fast, and we saw them again play the last game a bit slower. I think this time around they might want to change that pace, play a bit faster, not leave anything to chance. Execration, though, they do have the clock, and we saw BDZ play that well. Now they've got this Morphling. So it's once more the Morphling into Bloodseeker, which has been back and forth. There are some ways of dancing around it as a Morphling. There are also ways to maximize that as a Bloodseeker. So you'll have to watch out. It makes it pretty interesting to see both of those teams go against each other. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what they do pick up here from Fnatic. Do they want to invest more in heroes to punish the Morphling? Say the AA if it's not banned? Or are they happy enough with a Bloodseeker? We've seen, again, some matches where Bloodseeker wasn't quite enough to punish a Morphling.
No, it wasn't. In most cases, it does seem to be very effective, but it's not the be-all, end-all for the Morphling. And I've got to say as well with this Morphling pickup, right? Like, it just looks so weak. Raven did end up winning out the game last game around, but it took them quite a while. It did have to go to that point where Raven was 6-slotted and about 10k net worth ahead before they could fight back. So it's really starting to surprise me that we're seeing so much of this Morphling pick. Because it really doesn't feel that strong.
No, it's super slow, which is not how the meta plays nowadays. It tends to be a lot faster. Emphasis on that laning stage into the mid game. Morphling's just not that good at either point, so it has been a different pace, but it's still a comfort pick for a lot of players. So we'll see what Palos can bring out here on that morph. Of course, Fnatic for their part, it's still really open. We're looking for a combination with a Mirana, perhaps. Maybe, well, I don't know if you want the Mars in this case, considering how difficult it was for Zephyr, but Mars Mirana is a combination we've seen, although as a support duo that can be hit and miss, but again, they made it sort of work out with the Phoenix Mars last time. Maybe something more straightforward. A Bane would be pretty okay if you're looking for that combo just to hold a Morphling down. Of course, we haven't seen much Bane in a while, but it's still a solid support to have if you wanted to. And Execration, of course, you pick Morph, you have to ban that AA, and they ban out the Doom themselves as well.
Well, there's your Rubik coming out now for Execration. So, nice little Rubik pickup, of course. We always see the Rubik up against the Bloodseeker, and it's just very effective, right? Like, Bloodright is such a strong, powerful ability right now. Makes it impossible to fight into if you land a good Bloodright. And, of course, you just take the Rubik and you just escalate off the fact that you can take that ability. It really is one of the easiest spells to steal, I've got to say. It's spammed so often that you just take it. It's not really that hard. Fnatic, how do they respond though?
Well, they're limited in terms of team fight now. If you were trying to build with a Bloodseeker Mars or a Bloodseeker Void even to maximize that Bloodright, you have to worry about that Rubik stealing those big spells. Makes it a bit more complicated, so I don't know if you really want to combine it that way. You also have to remember, we've seen this before with a Morphling. If you turn into Bloodseeker, you have another Bloodright. So you've got two Bloodrights flying out here for Execration, potentially really hard to play against. Fnatic, though, Grimstroke pickup with Bloodseeker. We've seen this. It's the double Rupture coming into play. So you've got ways of really locking Execration down. I'm curious to see if Fnatic does build off of that. Say, Magnus would be decent, but Execration, the responses are great. Omni Knight. So that burst damage, that hit you want to do as Fnatic now, it's going to be tempered off just by the Omni Knight. He's just going to keep everyone alive.
Absolutely, John. Sorry, I'm just having a bit of a laugh as my dog was just walking behind me. I'm sure the viewers had a nice little chuckle. She was the wife brought me a sandwich, John, and you know the dog likes to walk in and see what's going on, see what all the commotion is about. Fnatic, they do go for the OD pickup now, which again is quite intriguing. Seems okay though. It does tend to mean they want to play a bit more of a slower game. Once again here on Fnatic's side, but we've seen a bit of OD and it has looked quite potent. Most teams not really having much to deal with the OD as their draft goes on.
Yep. It's nice here because you've got double Astral coming to play, although we haven't seen the emphasis on that when we have seen the OD. But double Astral or Astral into Bloodright, strong combos to have. I'm curious to see just how much damage you can do to the Morph. There's a lot that can come out. There's a lot of pressure here on Moon to really keep that farm up. And we talked about this before. Moon tends to excel more in heroes he can fight early with. OD's not quite that hero. He can,